So real quick, man, I just wanted to talk about today how I'm normally doing strength sessions. You normally don't see me doing a whole lot of Olympic weightlifting. I do Olympic weightlifting, snatch and clean and jerk, like just straight out complexes and stuff like that. But I try and do strength more than the Olympic weightlifting. And that's just because I see that that's a weakness for me specifically, is in the strength department.
Yeah, right there. Yeah.
Also too, man, it takes a whole lot of time in order to develop the strength needed to lift maximal loads in the Olympic weightlifts. It can take years, literally up to years. But if you notice like your technique, you can literally learn something in one day. Like if you meet a really good coach or you watch a really good video or something just kind of clicks in your head in terms of technique, you will notice those changes immediately have impact like in your next training session or even the current training session that you're on right now. But in order to see noticeable strength gains, that can take like years to see like noticeable strength gains. To have your back squat go from 450 to 500 could literally take like a year. So anyways, man, I just wanted to chime in right there just real quick, just to let you guys know that yes, I do strength sessions more than I do my Olympic weightlifting sessions. I typically do 3 strength sessions a week. And then on Tuesday and Thursday is when I do my snatch and clean and jerks. And my back feels, I would say about 85 to 90% back to normal. It's still a little tight, and so I have to like really take the time out before I do my sessions to really mobilize my lower back, to stretch it, to warm it up. And so yeah, that's been my journey thus far on my lower back injury that I sustained about 6 months ago. If you missed that video, I'll put it up right here in the corner. You can check that out. But basically, yeah, man, I just been chilling. I've been like putting up a lot of shorts, just letting you guys know that I'm still here, I'm still alive. I appreciate y'all tuning in, man. Right now, I am on another back squat cycle. I'm also on a pulling cycle. I'm kind of like juggling between the two. And so one week I may do 1 pulling session and then 2 back squat sessions, but then like the following week I might switch it up a little bit. I might do 2 pulling sessions and then only 1 back squat session, leaving a lot of flexibility within my training sessions. That way, like if I feel like I'm missing out on something, I can really hit just that one thing, or if my back starts to like flare up just a little bit, I can tailor back. I really like flexible training sessions because it makes you feel like you're not failing whenever you decide to scale back on something, because you may be feeling an older injury rear its ugly face, as opposed to like sticking to a really strict training session and then like you end up low-key injuring yourself and then you feel like you failed in life. That was set number 6 for the 345 workout, except like I mentioned earlier, the first set was at 275 or 125 kg. And then I went ahead, loaded up 156 kg, and then did sets 2 and 3 without a belt, and then did 4, 5, and 6 with a belt. I think that was a win. I feel victorious. You guys know this if you've been injured in the past, man. Coming back, having to work with weights that you've already worked with in the past can be a little depressing, but at the same time, I always have my end goal in mind. And so my end goal, hopefully for this year, is squatting 500 pounds for 1 rep. 2 would be nice, but I'll be happy with 1. All right, y'all, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna head over and do some clean and jerks. Like I said, I still feel pretty good. And so we are gonna go ahead and knock out that clean, no, did I say clean and jerk? Just cleans, bro. Look, I'm already ahead of myself. I'm just doing cleans, but I'm doing doubles. Okay, so what I'm gonna do essentially is start building up the bar. I'm gonna start with just the bar. Then I'm gonna probably start at 95 and then 135, 165, 185, 205. You guys know the drill, man. But we're doing doubles. any one of you guys that are also shooting on Sony APS-C full frame cameras, it doesn't matter. I typically shoot on Cine 4, and so the first kind of influx of lookup tables I'm coming out with are gonna be formulated to Cine 4. The first lookup table that you get from me is gonna be free, man, and it also comes with a video on how to expose for the way that I shoot, how to expose for the lookup table that I'm giving to you. Okay, so this lookup table is designed to get the most amount of dynamic range, but not shoot in a logarithmic curve or S-log. In case you're not familiar with what S-log is, it's a really flat profile that enables you to capture every ounce of dynamic range out of your Sony cameras. These are really kind of low bit rate files. 8-bit, 100 megabits per second isn't really that good, okay? Like in the grand scheme of things. S-log 2 is too flat to be shooting on an 8-bit camera. Okay, that's why you find that shooting in Cine 2 or Cine 3, even Cine 4, is a lot better for these kind of like older 8-bit cameras. So right now you're seeing me on Cine 4. There's not a whole lot of color in this scene, I get it. It's indoors, so it's really not showing its dynamic range capabilities, but this camera it's not like a dynamic range king anyway. And so when you're talking about shooting in Cine 4 versus S-log 2, you're literally talking about the difference between 0.3 to 0.2 more dynamic range shooting in S-log 2 than Cine. So to me, it's just not worth it. And in order to bring all of those colors and contrast back from S-log 2, your footage pretty much has to go through a lot of pulling and stretching in order to get it to something that's viewable. And let's not even talk about color grading over that or putting visual effects over all of that. It's just too much. My recommendation when shooting on smaller mirrorless cameras, especially ones that are 8-bit, is to stay away from logarithmic curves as much as possible and just shoot in something like a neutral profile or in the 6400, 6600 lineup of cameras. Cine 4 is known to have a higher amount of blacks, and so it keeps the contrast on the lower part of the image. And so if you do like I recommend and shoot just one stop over, what you'll notice is that when you bring that one stop back down in post, all of the noise pretty much disappears from the footage, even up to like 6400 ISO. What you're watching me on right now is 800 ISO, and as you notice, it's pretty clear, man. There's not a lot of noise in the shadows. Like I said, if you shoot Sony, APS-C, full frame, doesn't matter, and you like the way this looks, go down into the description, download the free LUT, put your camera into Cine 4. There's also a video that's attached to that download that shows you how to put your camera into Cine 4. Then all you have to do is when you actually go to shoot your footage, shoot it one stop overexposed, and then bring it down by one stop when you bring it into post. Anyways, man, if you got any questions on what you're seeing so far, especially in today's video, hit me up downstairs in the comments below. I try to answer back any questions anyone else has in terms of Olympic weightlifting. Like I said, man, I'm 43. I picked up Olympic weightlifting about 2 years ago exclusively. I have been doing CrossFit for about 10 years, and so obviously I've been around the Olympic lifts for the last decade. But as far as really honing in and capitalizing on my Olympic lifting journey, I've only been doing that for 2 years. Okay, so if you're anything like me and like you have a higher interest in Olympic weightlifting than in CrossFit, hit me up downstairs below as well, man, and I'll see you guys in the next one.